Top morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku had the powers, or gains the powers, or the anime powers, should I say? So, in this What If, yeah, is almost similar to what someone else did with the Toon, like, what if Deku had Toon powers? But I kind of went a little bit of a, kind of like a mix between Toon Force and Deadpool. Or actually, the and I had this recorded before, but I couldn't stop coughing, and yeah, stuff popped up, and so now I'm redoing it. So yeah, Zuko let's start with what he was born with. He was born with a quirks, should I say. Toon power and angry universe. And the angry universe is what is way more powerful than unlimited or limitless power. So it is opposite to the basically the what if Deku had the Toon powers. So without further ado, let's begin. Zuko been born, as he's always so happy, as he never actually causes trouble. The troubles always ends up every time he walks to somewhere. He's always like, and most of the time he gets blamed for it, as when he was just a child, as he's like, why? And I toned down the power of Toon power thing to make it more balanced, like equal to his angry universe power. So then, as he's like, and when he got older, more people are blaming him for the, oh, Zuko did this, Zuko did that. Even his own mother blames him and, grounds him. So, as he's like, he never heard of a term friends before. So, so at age of 5, or it started at the age of 5, so after he got told that he's quirks, or he has a quirk, or more than one, he has 2 quirks inside of his body. So then he always ends up getting in more trouble, as he wasn't even the one that did it. He didn't even do anything. So then the time skip to, so the Bakugo did try to pick a fight with him. And he says, no thanks. As Bakugo says, it's too late now. As he comes in, as Bakugo picks on Zuko, as Zuko's like, huh. So his mother was upset at him because they blame him, as he's or his power onward, because Angry Universe is similar to my Zero. Wrong. And yeah. So yeah. Angry Zero, so the Zero allows him to absorb everyone else's anger into himself, makes him more powerful than anything. So, a time skip, because I don't feel like making this a 4-hour movie. So, yeah. So, so Zuko's like, huh. He's grounded, so... And he couldn't go outside to join if he made any friends. Yeah. But that's okay with him, because he's actually being very busy. But he didn't tell Inko that. And she's actually doing something for him, or with him, actually. So, and in this alternate universe, Zuko is living not in an apartment area, more of a mansion, where the kind of like a mansion, but downstairs is basically a gym. Downstairs, where Zuko's needed some, or or actually, Zuko always spends most of his time there, away from Inko's. It's not because of her. It's not because of keep a watchful eye on her or on him. It's because her darkness is getting absorbed into him. So he needed some alone time from everybody else, because how much power Zuko has, as he looks at I can't even say the name right. narrator, as Zuko says, can you bring, or can you create a punching bag that is stronger than my muscles could handle? As I reach over and grabs it and gives it to him. Here you go. Thank you. As he hooks it up, Lord Zuko, as he starts punching, rapid punches, as yeah. So yeah. No one knows about that power. As he has no friends, but he wanted to go outside to, like, enjoy the open world thing. But because he's grounded and all that stuff, he can't make friends. So he's like, okay. But Zuko, middle of the night, when everyone's asleep, he's still downstairs. Because actually, he did go upstairs to, like, he did all of his homework. Like, not even his homework. He did the entire class. Like, all the entire school. Oh. All the way went from little kids school to, like, class 1A stuff. And then he even graduated and stuff that he needed to catch up on. So Inko doesn't know about this stuff going on. As Zuko's, what's holding him back is not just Inko's is, like, grounding him from going outside. It's also his absorption ability, like it's part of his angry universe Earth power, where he can absorb, like, negative emotions from others. Yeah. And sometimes he watches cartoons when his parents are out, or when his mother's outside. As he already did everything. And even cleaned up before. As he doesn't, because he has no friends on but he's a more destructive force. It's like the Nomu Deku, basically. If you guys want me to do a Nomu Deku what if version, like a yeah. As Zuko channels his as his powers, he's just, it's like this kid, like, he goes from angry, gruesome to, like, that's cool. kind. Because Zuko is more powerful and dangerous than anyone in the world. And Zuko's like, as he plays chess with like with the narrator, like C1 and then C4 and all that stuff. And Zuko did win as I asked Zuko, "Hey Zuko, what's up? Why don't you go outside?" "Well, because of my mother," and this is what Zuko is saying. "Because my mother and plus my powers." As, yeah. So, Zuko puts his thumb up. So that's why. Huh. Yeah. So So Zuko did and do, like, he didn't actually do anything. He's just relaxing at a house. So, a time skip to All Might versus All for One. As, yeah. Zuko was basically, he never left the house ever. As All for One looks at All Might, and All Might is just squirming around as, "You're not my target." As he looks over at a mansion, this so-called Zuko Midoriya is my target. As All Might asks All for One, "What do you want with the kid?" "His quirks." See, you know why he never leaves his house, right? Or he never... It's actually... There's two things. Of course, I'm mostly interested in what his powers. His number 2 power in particular. The file on him saying that Zuko's powers, reason why he couldn't go outside, is because it's actually his choice, not his mother's choice. Because it's called Angry Universe power. It allows him to absorb all of the negative emotions everywhere he goes. That's why. Did you ever figure out why that you always blame Zuko for everything? It's because his power forces you to blame him for everything. As All Might and the citizens and the pro heroes could not even believe it. Even that all their lives, like, they all can't believe all of their lives because the pro heroes are like, "Wait, so you're saying all this time, we've been blaming Zuko or the kid or poor kid because of his power forces us to blame him. Yes. And how are you feeling about your darkness inside you? And Nezu's like, he's right. I don't feel anything inside me. Not like a clawing. As even Midnight even agrees with Nezu and everybody. Because, and All For One says, because he's absorbing, or actually he absorbed every, or all of your negative emotions into his own body. That's what I'm after. And so ta-ta now, as he leaves, as All Might can't get up to stop him. As when Zuko, or when the detective walked in, where's your son? Oh, he's downstairs. Why? Well, how are you feeling? Well, I'm a little bit joyful today. Why? Well, as when, or actually when Zumi, or no, I keep saying Zumi, Inho heard what All For One said about her son, as she can't believe that all this time, reason why he couldn't go out isn't because of him getting grounded. It's because his powers is like, if he steps out, then all of the negative emotions goes right to him. As the door opens up or blasted open, as All For One was in his prime. And this is the different kind of All For One than the canon version. So All For One had more of a long-haired, and his hair was brown, and facial feature it's like that guy, but with a lot more cool down. As he says, where's Zuko Midoriya? As All For One grabs Inko by the neck, tosses tosses her right onto a wall. If you don't tell me, I will take away your quirk. Permanently. As Zuko, so Inko can't breathe. As next moment, Inko got basically stabbed in the shoulder, or actually right between, and tossed her onto the ground, bleeding, as Zuko's rage as he sees, or no, he hears the screams as Zuko gets angry, as his power grew, as when the door opened, next second, not even a second, next gigasecond, basically, Zuko's is getting every single negative emotion into himself, as when Zuko came back to life, or when he opened his eyes, it wasn't his eyes anymore, as you could see galaxies inside their eyes, as he got so corrupted that even no one could outbeat him, as Zuko comes upstairs, but not in a normal way. As he looks at All for One, then he looks at his mother, then All for One. As All for One is scared, as the deepest voice of Zuko Midoriya saying, "You broke into my house. You tried to kill my mother. Time for you to die. No!" As Zuko comes in, and as All for One, and didn't expect Zuko to be, as Zuko kicked All for One out of his house onto the streets, as Zuko's eyes glowing with red flames, with green auras surrounding his entire body. It's like the it's Goku's is that form, as Zuko's was no longer classified as human, as All for One stood no chance against Zuko Midoriya's berserk raged form, as he kills Holmes. He literally brutally, rips off limbs, left limb, right limb, or left arm, left leg, right leg, with his head still attached, as he looks at him with cold, dead eyes. He's as he says to All for One, "Any last words, you weakling?" As Zuko pummels, Zuko looks more of a demon than a human. He literally tore All for One to pieces as the League of Villains shows up before All for One gets killed. And so then all the villains goes right to him, like Shiraki-sen, Kirigiri, Gravity, or Magnus, I meant. And Toga and like all the villains, like the entire country or the entire world was there. As Zuko, who took on every single one of them, and as before, he turns to, as he quietly says, "Hey narrator, can you skip this part because I don't want to watch, or I don't want to have little kids know what I'm gonna do next." Okay, so then let's just skip over to a next scene where so all the villains, I mean all of the villains, was piled. It looks like a pile of dead corpses higher than Mount St. Helens. Yeah. Because Zuko's, as he went on top of them dead bodies, as he was like, no one is more powerful than me. As everyone can't believe, as they see why Zuko, they see why that people blame him. Or as the, yeah. And, yeah. So after that, they did a little cleanup on all the dead bodies that were in the mountain that Zuko created. As Zuko fixed the door. He got Inko to the hospital. As, yeah. At least she has her quirks. Or she still has her quirk, so. Because before, so All For One said, and second thought, as he stabs her instead. And, yeah. So she makes it out alive. As Zuko's, as he tells the doctors that were operating on her to, like, after she wakes up, he tell her that about what happened, and because for him being grounded thing, he broke the being grounded rule. As so then so he got back home. He cooks up some breakfast for himself and he does stuff. He cleans around the house as he upgrades. So he basically did all the tests and all the studies before. So he can just, he spends more time downstairs training his own body to use, who is it? So, yeah. Zuko ends up, yeah, he trains his entire body. He got stronger and stronger to the point of, yeah. So then he needed to, like, he knows how to do the angry universe. It's a power that allows him to, basically, it's similar to my Zero or Infinite Zero that allows him or allows the user to absorb negative emotions into himself. But the Zuko with so much power that even like no one can even outmatch his strength. Plus, he's the only one that Zuko says to a narrator that's like, guys, I'm the most powerful one. Yeah. Can you train your tune power, tune power? Sure. Because you got the angry universe down. but but now you just need the tune part. Yeah. So then Zuko does use his tune part tune power to train it to be more, yeah. And so a couple days after that, and so, yeah, Zuko ends up, because, so Nezu tells All Might and the pro heroes to, we need to get him into UA. Because with how much power he has, he's more powerful than anyone. Yeah. Plus, did you see what happened to All for One and those guys? Yeah. It's scary. And they all said that. And as with that much power, Zuko's could outbeat all of us if he ever became a villain. Yeah. But Zuko, not that type of guy, I noticed. And let's say Eraserhead was watching the whole fight thing. As they see, so Eraserhead tells them that it's not his cup of tea of if he became a villain. So, but we need to apologize to him about, sorry, we keep blaming you for, in reality, it was some other villains. Yeah. I agree with Mr. Izawa. If if everyone, or because does anyone remember? It's like, wow, every single time. Yeah. So then, so a time skip to. So let's skip over to where Inko is. So Inko woke up from her surgery. And she basically is so tough that even, yeah. But when she got heard that, or when the doctor told her everything about, like, what happened into hers, so, like, couple days before, as Eraser, or no, not Eraserhead, the doctor tells Inko that your son is the most powerfulest person in the world. So please be careful with your own son. And also take care of your body. Because the doctor told her the whole truth about how Zuko literally killed over 1,000 men and of villains, or over 1,000 villains, or 6 trillion tons of villains that were slaughtered. Slaughtered. Yeah. So, as everybody's like, oh, yeah. So Inko heard that, when she heard that Zuko is more of a, like, a threat than anything in the world. So then Eraserhead, Principal Nezu, walks over to Zuko's house, or Midoriya house, as he knocks on the door. As the thing in this, Zuko was in the kitchen, so he walks over to the front door, opens it up. May I help you? Yes. Can we come in? Sure. And this is Nezu, or I'm Mr. Zawa, and Nezu, as Zuko says. Mr. Zawa and Nezu, okay. Why are you two here? Well, reason that we are here is because we want you to roll into UA. As he's thinking about it. And no one even as he looks away, because he did close the door before. So I know this is hard for you, but we need your powers to. You can become a pro hero. And you are the most dangerous one, but in a good way, not in what. And we're sorry for the him for blaming you, because we all thought you were, as he sat down with them and told them the whole truth about the why rest of you keep blaming me. As Zuko says that, because every walk or every time I take a step, it always ends up being like, villain attacked this place or villain attacked that place. And then, and I was just an innocent bystander that was trying to go walk past to go to the grocery store or do something. So, yeah. So, Zuko, that's how I feel. As everybody can innocent bystander walk past and without the as the Nezu sees this as the Zuko sees this as no, actually Nezu and Eraserhead sees this as Zuko interrupts their thought process. No, I'm not lying to both of you. And plus, see? As Zuko remembers, he has to pick her up in about like couple hours, so he's running a little bit behind schedule. As he gets up, I don't want to. I know this is. And as he basically he was the as Nezu was a principal, but it wasn't gonna scar Zuko for like anything. As Zuko grabs the papers, like his work thing, as he's like, huh. So he turns them all in. As everyone surprised, even or so Nezu and Eraserhead were surprised because because they were supposed to hand them out when to like the higher ups students as like senior years things. But Zuko did all of that all the way to the graduation. So he's the first ever graduated like student that actually graduated from little kid school, medium school, high school of like UA and yeah. as he cares about his mother more than as yeah, so I'll be right back. As Zuko walks off, as Nezu and Eraserhead says, "Can we check downstairs?" "Sure, it's kind of messy down there, but go ahead." "Okay." As when they go down, they see in shock as they see like punching bags and stuffings were basically punched right out of the bags after bags. As everyone's like, holy crud. You know how messy it is? It's so messy, more messy than a kid's bedroom. Yeah. Azuku was basically pretty much, he told them as, so he goes up as he does cancel his power so that he doesn't absorb too much negativity when he goes into the hospital. As he sees Inko in the roller. As Inko is happy to see him. As to get out of the house more. As Inko basically tells Zuko that she's happy to see him. And it kind of gave me a scare, Mom, as he says about when all for one almost try to kill you, but yeah. As so as she could not feel that aura of Zuko's angry anger universe thing. As Zuko was pretty much at this point, because she could feel it, like her own darkness is leaving her own body every time she's near him. But because they're in a room, or like the hospital room, he turns his own quirk off so that so he does use tune powers to like make a tune car for him to, or for as Ingo says, I can't drive because I don't have a driver's license. Oh, don't worry. You just need to get in on okay? Do the rest. As Zuko, or as Inko gets in, as Zuko's body bulks up into like a jacked up, like basically muscular kind of body build. As he picks up the car, as he bounced, or he brings it over, as as he flies, or no, he walks over, as he sets a car down at his home, as he opens the door, as Inko jumps out, as she can't believe that her own son can do that with his own powers. Yeah. So then, so then both of them went into the house as she was tired out from the, yeah. So Zuko takes Zuko takes Inko to her bedroom, makes her like lay down and sleeps, as he says, yeah, as Inko, could have just died if Zuko didn't interfere with, yeah, as, yeah, as he shuts off his powers things of his, and so he just needs to go, or he goes back downstairs, as Nezu does tell Zuko that I know the him, as Eraserhead says, I know that you're stronger than a human. As Zuko punches the punching bag with just one punch, as Eraserhead knows the response of Zuko's, as Zuko blames himself. Instead, blaming himself, because it's because of him. He blames himself because it was his fault that Inko almost died from All For One trying to get to Zuko's power. Because normally it would be everyone else blames him because of his power makes him stronger when as he's punching Ling. He set up 25 punching bags as everybody, so there's only two people, Nezu and Eraserhead, as Nezu tells Zuko that I know it's not your fault. Yes, it is. It's always going to be my fault, no matter what I have to. As he's punching all 25 of them with enough force, as he's blaming himself. Because, yeah, as Eraserhead says, I know it's not your fault. As I know that we all blame you. We blamed you for something that you didn't even do. As the Razorhead says, I know that you can join UA. As everybody knows, or as Zuko looks over, so then the time skip, or he does go to UA, and because of he cancels his powers, or his like angry universe powers, so that no one blames him for anything. But he still blames himself for what happened to Inko. Oh. And as he still blames himself, so he's just needs some alone time. So he is outside in a grassy area. He's away from everybody. As his throwing, like when he threw the ball, when he had Toon Force active, or Toon World, its actual name for this what if to have is called Toon World. Basically, here. Dun dun dun. Yeah. Azuku just straight up, he got infinity by using Toon World. As he feels much more like he tries his hardest to like not blame himself. As everyone knows that they all like came to him after school. Let's say there was dorms ready and the Zuko actually walked home or walked all the way to his house to check on Inko. As he doesn't, because as every student, like Ochako from class 1A all the way down to the class 1B, actually told Zuko that they felt kind of bad that all this time the pro heroes and the rest of us blame you for everything for it. As Bakugo says that to Zuko too. As Bakugo walks over to Zuko, and so they basically Bakugo or reason. So I forgot to add this part to this what if that because it was basically off screen. Because Zuko caught up on all of his work before, and he was still getting used to his powers. Bakugo sensed it, and he knew right off the bat that, he was just pretending to be mean to Zuko. He actually said it to Zuko. Let's play me but tends to be a bully to you, Zuko, but in reality, we're just playing along, okay? Sure. So then, So, So then but they didn't know how bad it would have gotten if Zuko, yeah. So then overhaul arc thing just like happen as Zuko can't just think, but something, or when he activated both of his powers at the same time, he needed to focus on both of them. But then something happened as both quirks fused into his own body, evolving it into a power known as anime power, where it's the most powerful thing since Azuku, whose body erupted with so much power that even his hair turns red, his clothes turns red, as he turns into almost looked like Gear 5 Luffy. If all the anime characters fused together to create one most overpowered entity of anime, would be like Zuko's is. And Zuko used every anime character's abilities, from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures and all the way to like newer and newer anime stuff. As Zuko's powerful, as they thought he absorbed enough like dark energy thing, negative emotions. But then out of nowhere, Zuko, yeah, he looks like the mix between Sunganika and every other anime character that fused together. As, yeah, this version of Zuko is more powerful than any normal human, as even Ochako can't even believe it. Even as everyone asks him, Zuko, is that still you? As Bakugo says too, I'm fine. As Zuko's left eye looked like the Akami's or not. Sorry. I meant Akame, Akame, from Akame Gets Killed. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Akame, Akame,
Akame.
is how she activates her trap card, and like her eyes become all black on the outside, red on the inside. Well, it's so it was on her or his left side of his eye. Left eye had that. Azuku, who looks right at Overhaul as Overhaul had the same expression and how how All for One looked like when he met the. But Zuku's voice is a little bit softer tone than his gruesome one, as he's more of a ready for round two Overhaul, or should I say our first battle. As Zuko straight up touched Overhaul right in the chest of his real body, as Overhaul's his entire body got turned. Here, ready? Into a toy. Toy. Sorry. Because you know how like sugar from One Piece can touch people's and or touch items? Well, so Overhaul got turned into a like basically a smaller and more durable toy. This one. So yeah. And don't worry, Overhaul. As everybody can't believe it. What happened? As Zuko, or as everybody's like, why is there a toy there? As it says, or as he turns around, as he remembers, or he actually says, it's a Hubba Hubba no Mi. Or actually, he uses the English version. It's called a toy fruit, where whoever wields it can turn anyone in or anything into a toy. So basically, as he explains it, but there is a downside to it. It doesn't evolve around me, but it revolves around the people that are touch it that I touch. Like what? Do you see that little toy over there? Yeah. Do you know who he is? As they're like, no. As no one remembers. Exactly. As the red, or let's say Ochako figures out what Zuko is trying to say. As she turns to Zuko, as she says, wait, so you can turn you can turn people into toys, and whoever around them will, or like family members or anyone, will end up forgetting all about them, right? Yes, that's true. It makes it look. Plus, they don't even have their own will anymore. So, yeah. With that much power, Zuko, You can. He would. Yeah. So, yeah. Ochako, after she met Zuko for the first time, because she didn't, like, become pro hero, it was still, like, yeah. But, my goodness. Ochako. Oh. Had such deep feelings for Zuko. As before he even left to go see his mother to, like, to do that. And you know what she did? Or you know what Ochako did? She walked up to him and instead of, as she walks up and picks him up too, but she decided to to even ask him out on a date. Because she needs some guy time, basically. Because she actually chose Zuko because when she was younger, like 3 years old, she actually had a humongous crush on Zuko. But she didn't tell him until, like, yeah. So she basically kissed him right on the lips, and as she's so happy to see him. And yeah. And I had a thought about this. So during the canon arc thing, like, I know it's a past the 8 years thing, or 8 months stuff. I think Zuko didn't get, like, dating Ochako, but Ochako ends up dating Tenya Ida instead. Because if she, like, during the rest of the school days, she was mostly in love with Zuko, but then maybe the creators of creators of My Hero Academia probably said, oh, how about we put Ochako with someone else, because everyone else expects Zuko to be married to, or expecting Zuko to be married to Ochako. And yeah, with all that stuff, well, if they ever made a alternative thing, like if they do a redo of this this segment stuff, like my thoughts, you would be surprised about. Imagine her dating Tenya instead of Zuko. Because, yeah. But every time I, like, ever hear, like, someone has, like, oh, I think that because how Chaco looks, like, her looking and isn't at Todoroki, she's actually looking at Tenya. Because, yeah, she probably would probably be like, they probably like off screens. They probably like were dating off screen before her. So, yeah. But not in this what if, because this what if is about Zuko basically went because his quirk basically gets him into trouble, but not actual getting in trouble. It's actually, they actually did something the opposite. They're showing their anger, like their negative emotions, to Zuko more than anyone because of, and actually, the one time this actual, like, let's say Mountain, or not Mountain Lady, Midnight could sense a aura, and when she took Zuko home, she tells him that so what's your power, kid? My power, or my quirk, is I have two quirks: Toon World and the Angry Universe. And Angry Universe seems like it's taking all the heat from the villains and just adding it to me. As a building drops right in front of him, or not right in front, couple minutes as the villain pops out as Midnight, it's time for you to die, as he's like, as he pops down his head, as he's just like, all right. As it goes just straight up, as he looks at Midnight, and I believe this is your fight, not mine. So I'm just an innocent bystander. I don't have a pro heroes. So he walks over to another building that wasn't destroyed, as he puts his foot on as he's like, as Midnight's like, huh, yeah. As she did tell Zuko that, fine, you can help, actually. And don't worry, we'll keep it a secret. Okay. As Zuko basically, as the villain, basically, she basically turns, but when she did, as a villain had a bag of roses and like flowers for her, as the villain was, as the villain tells her that to marry her, or to marry him, and as she's kind of confused, as she looks over, and already been there. So so Mountain Lady and a villain were dating each other's. And guess who was the villain? Slime villain. Sludge villain. And yeah, basically, as, yeah, she did turn to look at Deku as she basically looks at the building because we have to cut through all the way around. As the sludge villain says, you needed to go through this way? Sure. As he's basically lifts the entire building up onto the, like, building. Or forming it back. And so then after they both went across, as the, yeah, as Zuku's like, there's plenty of explaining to do, but yeah. So that was way before. He was about 7 years old when, as everybody's like, looks right at Zuku. Oh man, he's a lucky duck. As, so then he walks, or so during the halfway mark, or all the way, couple, as Zuku, or as Midnight's like name. So how did you do that? The turning the villain into the lovable boy thing. As such a villain has like love in his eyes. It's my power. Remember Angry Universe? Yeah. It basically when I'm out in public, or like say if I'm in a hospital room or like school, then I have to shut it off, or else all of the negative emotions of everyone goes right into me. And plus, the more negative a person is, the stronger my quirk is. I see. So then, yeah. Well, have fun. So then, yeah. So then, after... So, he's such a villain and was chasing... Or not chasing. He was literally walking with Midnight. And, of course, she did... And, like, of course... She tried to get the sludge villain to the place thing, the Tartarus. But the sludge villain kept going, keeps grabbing her. Yeah. And, yeah. So, thank goodness this is the end of the What If. So, yeah. So, yeah, he basically... He protected her all of his life, so... So, yeah. So, now this is... Yeah. So, now this is the end of the What If. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, comment, and do all of that fun stuff. And sorry my throat is a little bit dry. And no, I am not going to do a 4-hour video. Because that would probably take too long. And me having to explain what the whole affair between Midnight and the sludge villain. because both of them got married, and they had slurplings, or it's triplins, but they are like the combined of slime or sludge villains and mixed with her powers, called slurplings or things. Or so, yeah. With that out of the way, please leave a like, share, subscribe. Peace out, y'all. Peace.